I think one of the lessons to be learned for the country is the lesson that I think the country should not take from Charlottesville. And Leslie is exactly right that what happened has led Charlottesville to grapple with some of the things that have happened in Charlottesville. But what I have also found, and I remember last year, August 11, 12, and I was in Seattle for a meeting, but I did a CNN interview. And there was a response to something I said then that I'll say now and still to be believed to be true, which is that people think about this as a Charlottesville problem. People think about this as a Southern problem. And it is neither. It is an American problem. It is a problem that sits on the American DNA that we have to grapple with and we have to deal with. And that requires, it goes back to everything that we've talked about in terms of truth. And so that's one lesson that I hope the country will start to understand, as opposed to taking what I believe is the easy way out to say, well, you know how they are in the South. And that's just the way it is, and not looking around and seeing memorials and named buildings and all the symbols, not to mention the institutional and structural problems that exist around the nation. So that's one. Two, you were talking about the present day crisis, because the other thing that we also often do is we say, this isn't who we are. And I say this as a woman who is an American, and I am proud to be an American, full stop. However, this is part of who we are as Americans. And I say that because, one, if you tie together the crisis that we've been witnessing on the border for the last couple of weeks, let's attach that to history. History where enslaved children were sold from their parents. A history where American Indian children were taken away from their parents so that we could de-Indian them. We've done this before. So I think the question is, what do we learn from that? When do we finally learn from that? And the challenge to us all is to build the America that is true to the principles of liberty and tolerance and pluralism and equality. We have to create that. We have to build that. The beauty is that the framers, for all of their faults, also gave us that. They gave us a way out. They gave us the ability to perfect, and they expected perfection in terms of perfectibility in the country. We need to grab hold of that and do something with it to create the America that lives up to those promises.